I'm Carol Weck, and I'm the president and founder of Charity. And we're excited to be working with ChiRep Congress and all of you to help deliver the first strategic plan for the chiropractic profession. I'm with my partner, Karen Palat.
Hi, it is such an honor and privilege to have the opportunity to work with all of you and put together a common voice and a strategic plan for the chiropractic profession.
Hello, my name's David Burrell, and I'm the CEO of Future IQ. Future IQ is delighted to be part of this sort of future looking strategic planning for the chiropractic industry and profession in the US. So, just a little about ourselves. So, Future IQ, we're a research and consultancy company. We do a lot of work on future trends and their implications on a whole range of different settings across the world. And we also do a lot of planning. So, we work with people to help craft sort of shared visions and then be able to figure out how to build strategic plans to be able to get from aspirational vision to practical implementation and plan on the ground. The parts of this project that we'll be working with is two sections. So one is a foresight component. So we've currently just launched a survey, and we'll be running some discussion boards, and we'll be doing some sort of deep dive into emerging trends that are really critically shaping the future of the industry and the profession, and really trying to think about what are the intended and unintended consequences of those trends? What are the implications of those over time? How they might interact and play together. The second part of our work is then to bring that sort of understanding of these future trends into a scenario-based planning process, and we call that a think tank. Is where we bring it all together and where we really develop a series of plausible scenarios that could be in front of the industry. And then, of course, the last part of that is where we then want to understand what we call expected and preferred futures. So, what is the expected outcome for the industry if you don't do much different to what you're currently doing? If the trend lines remain the same, your industry organization and policy settings and behavior and so on just continues the way it is, where are you likely to end up in 10 years? And then we're also critically important in what do you think is your preferred future? So, what is that sweet spot where you think your industry is going to be thriving in the right kind of way in the future? And then, of course, understanding the gap between the expected and the preferred future is then really the process of building the strategic plan to make that essential pivot. So I should say we're just thrilled to be able to work with Charity. Obviously, they're going to be doing the strategic plan component, and we're very delighted to be able to help contribute to the foresight development and vision setting part of this, what we think is actually a very important project. So again, my name is David Burrell. I'm with Future IQ. You'll see us and our team throughout this process, and we look forward to getting to know you better. Thank you.
I'm now going to walk you through the entire process so you can understand exactly how the workflow is going to go. We're going to be starting with the survey, which is going to run for about 30 days. We'll be asking for feedback from all of the grassroots participants across all of the chiropractic industry. From there, we'll be breaking out into smaller cohort groups. These are going to be broken into groups of the profession so that we can start to drill down on some of the themes that we'll be looking for the common mission, vision, and key pillars. From there, we'll start looking at those key drivers in more depth. With our partners, Future IQ, we'll be having driver discussion boards as well as key driver meetings to look at those things that you feel will shape the chiropractic profession into the future. We'll be moving into a think tank with about 60 participants that will start to bring all of these components together to really start to look at where the profession is now and where they want to be in the future and what's going to have to happen in order to get there. By February, we'll be ready for a future summit. We'll have a lot of the data compiled, we'll have a common mission, vision, and we will be able to start to talk about common core values and the priorities that we're going to start to shape the strategic plan around. Beginning in late February, early March, we're going to be then breaking out into those strategic priority work groups. There'll be 4 of them, and you can participate in those work groups. That's where the real work is going to start. We're going to be rolling up our sleeves and starting to come up with those metrics, the actionable steps, and the on the ground plan that will have to happen over the next 3 years in order to start to achieve the goals that we've developed. When we get through that development of that plan, we'll be presenting the entire plan about May. That plan will then be put into another platform that was been created and is maintained by our third partner, On Strategy. On Strategy will be teaching people how to implement and deploy the strategic plan through the use of their platform. And that will take us into phase 3, which is the implementation phase. We want you to get really involved, and here's Karen with more information about how to get active and involved in this process so that you feel that your voice is heard.
So now it's time to talk about your role with this project. We've got some specific ways that you can get involved, and please know we need your participation and we want to hear your voice. So here's what you need to do. First, take the survey, and then also consider getting involved in the discussion boards that'll be available a little later in the process. Second, if you're interested in becoming part of one of the smaller work groups, let your association leadership or Chiro Congress know of your interest. And third, stay up to date with our progress. Sign up for the updates through chirocongress.org and stay involved.